Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. Well, I have been going and looking at my seeds that I have saved over the course of the year and just kind of taking a survey to see what I have, what I've saved, what I have put together myself from the different winter squash that I've accumulated or that I have grown throughout the season. So I've been eating this winter squash that I got from a Burpee package of seed, and as I cook them I've been saving and storing seeds. So here I have different seeds, like I have corn seeds, corn, butternut squash, winter squash, there's some more winter squash, pumpkin seeds, butternut squash, I have daisy flower, bush beans, pumpkins, patty pan. So I've been just saving the seeds and I put them, okra, here I just put them here and just storing them as I would harvest the plants or the flowers, and just save the seeds and put them in some envelopes, the meat envelopes that I got from Dollar Tree. And then I also put some of the marigold seeds here in this container. I started gathering the marigold seeds. And then also these are zinnia seeds and some of the flowers. I just put the whole thing there. But I really also have a large harvesting of other zinnia seeds from my zinnia collection. Let me get that for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. In this container that I purchased at the Goodwill, I just started using it as a place to just place the zinnia seeds and to gather them. So later, this is an okra, and what I'm going to do is later on go through and harvest these zinnia seeds and just getting them ready to plant. So I didn't get as far. So here are the seeds right there. See that? So we have the chaff from the seed, and because they're like this, I'll have a sense of what it is, maybe, of what I am gathering. So I'm new to all of this, but so now this is a seed. That is a zinnia seed. Hello, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. I'm so happy to be here with you today because I have been working in my journal, A Garden to Call My Own, the Intentional Garden Journal for 2022. And in it, I've been working on the first section, part 1, Dreaming and Planning. And I did go and find out what my growing zone is, which of course I know to be zone 6. And I also figured out the average last frost date in spring, which is around May 1st. But from past experiences, I realized that might be, give or take, a couple of weeks. Usually for me, Mother's Day is the time, or the Sunday that I determined is when I'm going to plant out my seedlings after Mother's Day. But the weather can be finicky, and if those next couple of days are forecasted to be colder than or below the frost temperature, then I'm going to hold back on keeping my seedlings in my little makeshift greenhouse that I have that was very, very productive last year, and it really helped me to it really helps me to begin my seed starting, and actually helps me to produce a whole lot of plants to put in my garden space. I also found out what is the average frost date in autumn. What is the average first frost date in autumn, which is October 10th. So my growing season, or growing time, is about 161 days that I have for growing vegetables and flowers and herbs and really enjoying the season, the growing season. 161 days. So with that in mind, I decided next to figure out what seeds do I want to plant, and what did I have success in growing last year as far as planting with seeds. And with that in mind, I decided to gather together all of the seeds, or at least some of the seeds that I have been working with over this time, harvesting and putting them in a little kind of container, in different containers, in envelopes, and in this 3-shelf drawer system that I would know where to find them versus just having my stuff all over, my seeds all over the place. But let me just show you what I first used to store seeds about 2 years ago, what I used, and how I have now decided to upgrade my storage, and hopefully later on I'll be able to improve it even more. So right here I have this shoebox. I was using the shoebox as a way of storing my seeds, and I did go last year and the year before that to Lowe's and also Home Depot and Ocean Job Lot, and I bought seeds. And some of them I used and some of them I didn't. So I still have a lot of seeds, like these garden beans here, some spinach, some snap peas, and lettuces, and other things here, beets. And so these seeds are still viable because I used them last year, and I was able to actually get some plants, some germination, like the beets, for example. I was able to plant some of these beet seeds in the front garden, and I did have beets. They grew, and I found a place where they liked to grow in the front. I had planted beets before in other parts of the garden with not much success, but right in the front garden there, they enjoyed that spot. So that's what I'm going to do again this year, is to plant the beets in the front. And I even stored some watermelon seeds from a couple of years back. I had grown watermelon, and if you go on my playlist, you'll see that I have Is the Watermelon Ripe with my daughter. We did some watermelon videos, and these seeds are from those watermelons. And I have lettuce. My family's not big on lettuce, so I do have a lot of lettuce seeds here. And the microgreens. Last year I tried growing microgreens, and I even got the microgreens and scattered them directly in the garden. I loved the little flowers that they offered. A lot of them had yellowy small flowers, and it looked really nice in the early spring with some of my spring bulbs. And but maybe this time I will eat them versus just throwing them out like that. So that's what's in this. I also have okra seeds, and I had ordered okra seeds from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, and these seeds are still viable. I had ordered them 2 years ago. Last year I also sowed some of them, and I still have a few left back here that I'm going to sow. I think I am going to order some more of their okra because it worked out really well, and I was able to actually start the okra in the greenhouse. And this seed is the Clemson Spineless. And this tastes very good, very delicious. So that's what I have in here. And at that time I put this inside the shoebox so that I could remember where it was. And then last year I went to the Dollar Tree and I got this container, and I love the container, and found that it is actually a great place to store seeds. Last year I picked up a lot of the Dollar Tree seeds because when I went to go to check out the Dollar Tree seeds, they were very limited, and I decided I'm going to buy seeds just in case this year there aren't any seeds at all, and that I'm going to save some for this year. I also have some burpee seeds here too, and I just love this container. I think it's really cute, and I think I'm going to get another one when the seeds come out at the Dollar Tree, and store them like this as well in this box. And so you know that it's right around now that the seeds come out. And at the Dollar Tree they do have some of the gardening supplies available, so I'm just trying to keep a lookout for them. Also from the Dollar Tree I had gotten some of these jars, which are really airtight, and I stored in it. These seeds are marigold seeds, and I had planted a box of marigold seeds from the Dollar Tree, and I had quite a few boxes and planted them in different parts of the garden, and ended up having so many plants. It was quite amazing, and they produced a lot of seeds. Now this is the zinnias, and that too came from a box from the Dollar Tree, a dollar box of zinnia seeds. And now I have a whole lot of seeds here in this container. And then this is butternut squash seeds that I've been storing as well. And what I did first was store the beans that I have been gathering and other seeds in envelopes, and I put the name and the date on them, and I had them loosely in a special location. But now I decided that I'm going to put them in the shoebox so that they can stay a little bit more orderly. And here I have my pumpkin seeds, beans, string beans, canna seeds, patty pan seeds, daisy flowers, bush beans, let's see, patty pans. And every time I would cut open a patty pan or a pumpkin seed, butternut squash plant, I would save the seeds. This is a okra, winter squash and corn, and bush beans and zinnias and marigolds. So I have this as well, and I think that it's meeting my needs for now, but as time goes on I might become a little bit more sophisticated with the seed sowing and seed saving, and try to create another way. But for right now, as far as saving the seeds, I like this. I love the little container, and I do love gardening, and I do love seeds. So I thought this is so cute. I think I'm going to get a couple more of these for to save the seeds in. And then these containers are so cute, and I like that as well, especially if I'm going to be saving a lot of seeds. So what I've been doing is looking at the seeds that I want to sow for 2022. And I took out my catalog here. I have my seeds that I'm looking at, what I already have, and just thinking about what I had success in sowing. And the seeds that I really had a lot of success in sowing are corn seeds, okra, pumpkin, winter squash, bush beans, kale, yes, my curly kale, and the dinosaur kale. I enjoyed growing basil from seed, cucumbers, carrots, radishes, and Swiss chard. And I had success with growing those seeds and having those seedlings and taking them out into the garden. And many of them flourished. I just have to be mindful of the location, making sure that they're getting plenty of sunlight, that they have room to grow, and work on my spacing a bit, because I think that was the problem. Because they were so tiny, I didn't really space them out that much, and I think that some of them got a little smothered. Like, for example, the Swiss chard. Where I put them, the location that I put it in was not the best for it. This time I think I'm going to be moving it more towards the front of the border so that I can monitor it and that it will have room to grow. But it did very well, and I know I can grow Swiss chard. And some of the flowers that I had success growing by seed, of course, are marigolds, zinnias, cosmos, celosia. I didn't grow that from seed, but I believe that it will be easy for me to grow. And I want to grow amaranth as well. Cleome, I grew cleome before in the past, and they did very well also. So I'd like to try that. And then, of course, nasturtiums. My nasturtiums are now self-seeding and just helping themselves in my garden in different parts where I planted them. They are now just coming back on their own. They kind of perennialized, and they look really good. Then also sunflowers. Now last year I did not have success in growing sunflowers. I don't know if the seeds were spoiled or what, or if I tried to plant them out too early. But I know that I can grow sunflowers because a few of them, later on when I decided to grow sunflowers, they did come up and they were there. But this year I want to be more intentional about growing sunflowers. I think that that's going to be fun, having them in the garden. And the marigolds, I want to grow other types of marigolds, not just the yellow ones, but or the orangey colored ones. I want to grow some of the more of the giants, and if I can get a white or vanilla creamy colored one, I would love to get that as well. I want to work on the different sizes. I have the dwarf, but I also want the more giant marigolds also to add to the garden. And verbena bonensis, I think that's how they pronounce it. I would like to try that. So if I see that seed at you know, when I'm going seed shopping, if I see verbena, I am going to buy it because I would really love to add it to the garden. I've seen it in other gardens, and I've seen it in person, and it's really pretty and very airy, and I think it will add a nice color to the garden with its purpley color, and yet it's airy enough, and it will be good as a filler in different spots in the garden. So I definitely would like to get some verbena. And in terms of the herbs, basil, it was easy to grow basil from seed. I grew it in a pot, and it was easy to monitor and to just go out on the deck, clip the basil leaves, bring them in and use them in my cooking. And so I really enjoyed the basil. Then there are chives. I planted chives, they grew, but I didn't get any chives flowers, and hopefully they'll come back though. But I would like to try chives again. Dill, sage, thyme, and parsley. I know that they will grow from seed, and I just need to make sure that I pick the best location for them, and they will grow and thrive in my garden. So I was looking at the seeds in terms of vegetables, flowers, and herbs, and I wrote it down here in my journal. You can see that. So I've taken note of it, the seeds that I'm considering, the vegetable seeds, the flowers, and the herbs. Now, when I go shopping, and I'm out in the garden centers, if I see other plants that are interesting that fill in this 3 categories of vegetables, flowers, and herbs, I can always add them to the list and experiment with them as well in the garden. But I've really enjoyed the process, and using my journal here to help me just organize myself is really a good thing. So the first section is the spring garden, and I'm going to start to think about spring and how do I want to rearrange my garden. What areas do I want to change in the garden, and write that down and make note of it. So get ready for that section. And then the next section are my garden goals. What are the goals that I have in mind? And what supplies will I need here? And tools, checklists, and plant selections. And with that, I think that's more of the plants. But just to get started, we're looking at the seeds here. And the seed catalogs really help to assist in this. Now, as I become more confident with a seed starting and growing from seeds, then I believe that I'm going to have to update my journal here and give more space for that. But in the meantime, this is good. In the meantime, I think for a beginner gardener or one who is just beginning and considering growing vegetables in their garden, that this is just a good way to begin to start to think about that process. So if you like this video and you like what I'm doing, then hit the like button and give me a thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing and you want to follow me in my journey with my journal, it's available if you go to the website. That's Catherine's Garden Home LWS.weebly. That's WEEBLY.com. And if you go there, you can click on, it will take you directly to where you can purchase the journal and continue this journey with me. We could do it together. If you don't want to get one, that's fine. All you have to do is get yourself a notebook. Yeah, and start to fill it in and write down what you want to see in your garden. And we can journal and journey together through this process for 2022. I think it's exciting actually writing down this information, because what it does is it helps you to be intentional about it. You know exactly what you're looking for. You're not guessing, and when you walk into the garden store, you're not just pulled in every direction, but you can know exactly what you're going there for and spend your money wisely. So come and join me on this journey here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. And then come and join us on Wednesdays for our live garden chat, where we have our live growing together sessions. And there we talk about the garden, we share pictures, we laugh, we share information, and we just have a really good time together. So come and join me on Wednesdays. Yeah, Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there we can talk about seed starting. And if you're an expert at this and you have a lot of experience, we want you to come and join us so that we too can learn together. That's the whole idea, that we're growing together in Catherine's Garden and Home. That's right, grow together in Catherine's Garden and Home. Yes, so thank you so much for visiting with me, and leave a comment down below. Have you been saving seeds? Are you into saving seeds? Do you participate in a seed swap? And do you like to go out and buy seeds? Do you prefer to buy your seeds from the catalogs? And if you buy your seeds from the catalogs, which catalogs do you buy? Do you use Rare Seeds catalog, Baker Creek, or do you buy Burpee Seeds, or what company do you buy your seeds from? Yeah, and share that information with us. And what exotic plant or what kind of seeds that you have grown that are rare and that seem difficult. You experience seed starters, people who grow from seed. Give us some inspiration and inspire the rest of us to try something new by leaving a comment down below. All right, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time right here at Catherine's Garden and Home, and let us grow together. Well, bye. See you on Wednesday. Bye.
For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.